Alright guys, so today I'm going to show you all the things I do with my indoor fish tanks. So this is the 90 gallon, you guys have already seen it. What we do first is we're going to get worms and feed them, because if you feed them and then do a water change, it's better for them than doing water change, feeding. It just makes tanks gross, like you don't want that. So we're going to go outside and grab some worms right now. Alright, so we're going out to the wood pile where worms like to be. And we're going to check under a bunch of logs and see if we can find any worms. This one is big if I move. Oh, we're in luck. Come in. Come here. Look at this juicy fat worm. Try to get like 5 or 6 for them. That's a good one. You see it right there? Let's see if we can grab him. Oh yeah. Squirming. 1. There's another. 2. Oh, hot damn. This one broke up, trying to get away. Oh, found one. 4. Let's try to get one more if we can. Well, lift this log. Alright, got one. Last one. Alright, and 5. So we got 5 worms to go feed to the fish. We're gonna wash them off before we feed them, just to make it like a little easier. Alright, so we've got the worms. We're gonna feed them now. The bass, Greg's gonna go crazy. Watch this, guys. He's probably freaking out. It's like, feed me, please. Ready? Bop! Got one. I dropped some on the ground. Don't tell my mom. Here, let's give the red devil some. Come on, Rusty. Here you go, Rusty. Pop it. Nope. It's okay. The bass will get them at least. Get bass. Oh, there you go. Nice. The other 2 should eat the other worms, so they'll be fine. The next step is going to be water changes. So we're going to do a water change on this fish tank first, and then while I'm doing that, I'm going to feed the other fish tanks in the meantime. So this is where I keep all of my fish supplies for this fish tank in general. Under here is the water changing siphon tool. It's like 50 foot long. Does really well. It has like a little turn off and on valve, so when you're done pumping water in, you can turn it off so it doesn't overflow your tank. It's a one-man job, but 2 people is better. This is how you use it. You put it in here, and you'll see I'm going to suck up like all like the nasty stuff at the bottoms of them. So we're going to get right into that. I'm going to show you how to screw it on onto most sinks. So let's go to that. This is the end that goes on the sink. Simply just take this out, the little white piece, unscrew it all the way, and then we're going to look down at the sink. Take off the sink's nozzle, like the little filter on the end of it. Set it aside, and then you're going to see this part fits perfectly around this. If I get it good. Perfect. And then this has a little thing where you can just screw it onto the white cap. So you just put it on and screw it all the way on until it's nice and tight, because otherwise it will leak. And I have made a mess on my kitchen counters before, and my mom was not very happy. I got our rug just soaked. This is what's going to really be important though, this right here. So this is the valve that either sucks the water from the fish tank or pumps the water into the fish tank. So this right now would suck it out of the fish tank because it's down, and when it's on the water, it's going to run down like that, and that creates a siphon which sucks the water up through the hose and down out into here, down into the sink, out of the way. Boom, done, easy. And then when you're done, you put it in here, close it, tighten it like that, and then it'll pump it in like that. See how it goes? I don't want to do it because I'm not having it's not on a fish tank right now. So we'll just unplug it or unscrew it down so it becomes a siphon again. And it siphons it out. Let's go do it. We haven't turned it on yet, so we're just gonna set it down in there. Come get a close up on the fish tank so you can see like all the dirt and buildup. And like this isn't a week, so I only do like a water change once a week on this one because this is 90 gallon and there's only 3 fish in there right now, so it doesn't need like many changes. As long as I do 40-50% water change a week, it should be fine. You can see the algae forming on here from the sun hitting it from the side. We're gonna scrub that off first before we turn our hose on. I just have a generic algae brush, so you can just scrub it. So if you'll notice, the side walls actually have window tint on it because the sun comes in here through the window and is just so strong it'll just cover the tank in algae and make it green and disgusting. So a simple trick, if your tank is close to a window and you don't mind like one side being blacked out, Just put some like heavy tint on it and you won't get as much algae at all. So what I try to do is line this up about a 45-degree angle because that's the perfect temperature when you turn all the cold on. And it's gonna be different every house, but it's just what I found works. And I live in a really good area for doing water changes because I have a well instead of city water. If I had city water, I wouldn't be able to just pump water out and in like this. Let's go check out the fish tank. We already have it pumping out water, but I want to put it into the gravel so we can get all the bacteria and like the particulates that have gotten down into the gravel out as well, because that'll cause your nitrate levels to go through the roof, even while doing like massive water changes like 70%. You have to make sure you do the gravel as well. So I'm standing on this little stool right here because it's a really tall fish tank. So you might not be able to see my face, but just worry about what you see coming out. Alright, so we're actually over 50% because you gotta account for the gravel filling a lot of it up. So what we're gonna do now is just pull it out, and that'll stop the water from getting sucked out, obviously. And what I do is I use my glass lid and I just lodge it up here like that, and then I'm gonna walk over and flip it. I'm actually gonna pull this up first because that way you get all of the dirty water out of the hose and into the sink. And then we're gonna flip it after that, so then good clean water comes into this tank. All you gotta do is push this up and twist it, and you can watch the water go all the way. Look, there it goes. Wee, wee, wee. Alright guys, pretty close to being full. Starting to look good. It's looking clean, looking a lot more clear. The quality of the water is just improved so much. They eat live stuff generally, and so that's why the tank gets so nasty. I like the guts and yucky stuff. But that'll help them grow a lot. So right now, we're gonna use the valve and we can turn it off. And you see how it stops? Water line comes there. Let it drip out. One tank done. Welcome back to my room. We're gonna be doing some water changes in here now. All these guys have already been fed. I feed them in the morning as soon as I wake up. And then sometimes at night if they're looking hungry. First thing we do is take off our shoes. There's a little footing on my bed, so I hop up here. And I hop up here. Straddle. We're gonna shove our thing back a little bit. And raise it. Shove this on in there. Something really interesting about this fish tank is all the gravel and rocks. I actually went down to the river near me and I got them all out of there. I took like a 5-gallon bucket, took a shovel, got a bunch, and then I carried it back to my house. Gravel is so heavy. The process to cleaning the gravel is to boil it, and boiling it will get rid of all like the bad bacteria on it, and then you can place it in here. That's exactly what I did. Yeah, these guys are looking really good. Their colors are coming out more and more every day. The types of cichlids that I have in here, their colors will continue to change and develop throughout their lifetime, especially as some get more dominant. Oh! We have to unplug the hang on the back filter. It's making weird sounds. There you go. Unplugged it. Something yucky we have to do is we have to take out the filter that's been on the hang of the back filter, because if we don't, then it's just gonna like explode nasty stuff out as soon as we start it back up. We're gonna go and clean it, and I have a new one to put in it. Just turn hot water on, and you just try to get off all that surface and muck. Just needs water. You just set it down in there, and then we got the new one. Look how new this one is. Put that in there. Shove it on down. Perfect. And bio ball might need to be cleaned. Alright, their tank is pretty low. Yeah, so this is 40 versus 90 gallon. You can see how fast one sucks versus, or how fast it gets taken out and how much you need to take out. Yeah, I'm gonna clean the bio ball too because it's looking really nasty. Alright, let's just place that back in there. Put the face hose back on. Cool. So before I add the water back, they're fine in there because if you see we have an aerator in here. If you look right there is an aerator. And so what that does is that provides a lot of oxygen for the fish, and it kind of like helps them de-stress, especially when I turn off the hang on the back filter, which is the main filter for them. But they'll be fine for about 10 minutes. That's all it'll take. So let's go over to this tank. You guys watched my last video. I fixed the light. I cut off a part, and then I stripped the wires, and I just reconnected the wires. I just twisted the wires around, and it just looks like that. Put some electrical tape on there so it'd be all safe and wouldn't electrocute me or the fish. But we're gonna do water change on them as well. So for these guys, this is my grow out African cichlid tank. All I have in there is a there's a little aerating filter. It should be fine because I don't plan on keeping them in here for too much longer. They've been growing a lot recently, especially my my Z-Rock. He's the blue one. It's a Zimbabwe rock cichlid. They get like this beautiful orange stripe. He's a super dominant one. Right there, he's chasing everyone around. That's why we have the hang on the back. Like it's called like a breeding net, but it's really for what I use it for is for like when I get like a sick fish or a fish who's been beat on too much. I'll put them up in there, let them have some time, especially like dominant ones, even more so. I'll put like a really aggressive fish in there, and I'll just keep them in there for like 24 to 48 hours. Let the pecking order get reestablished in the fish tank, and then I'll put him back in there. And you might think this is a bad idea because he'll just become like instantly aggressive again. But as long as you can rearrange rocks and stuff, give him like a different looking habitat, he'll start at the bottom of the pecking order and won't be as aggressive for as long. Alright, so this is probably all we're going to take out of this fish tank. You guys can probably see the algae right here. Yeah, you can definitely see that right here. And there's a lot down here. And that's because there's a window right there. So, like I said, I'm probably going to buy some window tint and just put it all across here. And that'll really stop the algae. I promise, guys. If you do that, you'll be amazed at what a window tint can do to it. To prevent it. Alright, so this one's done. We're just going to take a little bit out. We'll probably take it down to here-ish. Right around like 20-30%. I do bigger water changes on fish that are still growing and developing and have like more bio waste. So there's only one in here versus 4 in there. And in my 40 gallon with all my African cichlids, I have 6 in there. So you just got to think about like the bio load. And the more water changes you do, honestly, like the better off they are. You can't do enough water changes. Alright, so this one's filling up. This is the only light that I can't get to work. I'm going to figure that out pretty soon now. So y'all don't worry about that. This one's filling up, almost full. Watch these tricks. You messed me up.
What?
I said you messed me up.
You messed me up.
Alright, this one's going to fill up too. I can go over what kinds of fish I have in here right now if you guys would be interested. So in here, like I already mentioned, that guy is a Zimbabwe rock. It's really pretty fish when they get older. It's a cichlid. I've already mentioned the Borlei. Borleis are really cool. They're really fat and big. And then under there, he stays under there. Right under there, that is a flameback. Flameback are little small fish, but the reason why they're called flamebacks is because they have like these beautiful like red and like rainbow colors on their back, and they get really pretty. And this little drab one up here, I actually can't remember what it's called. It's really interesting fish. I know that when they get older, they get like a dark brown, black color, and they have like white stripe going down them. So that'll be really interesting and add like another dimension and another like color to the fish tank, because that's what you always want to search for with your Africans. You want to have like multiple colors, make everything pop out and everything unique and different. This one's done. Alright, I'm going to go over the species types I have in here as well, because I think I overlooked that in my last video. So this right here, the blue one, is a Mangano. That's part of the Mumbuna family. So there's 3 main families in the Rift Lakes, which are where the cichlids come from in Africa. So Mumbuna is a long-bodied torpedo-like cichlid versus like the haps. So all the other ones in there you see are Haplochromis. That's their genus. And so that would be like my red empress, the Rostratus, the Venusis, which is the yellow one, and then the female. Actually, I think it's a female. It's a Fuscotaneous, a Haplochromis Fuscotaneous. Or actually, no, I take it back. Haps are their family, and then there's genus and species, which is the other thing they are. But hap is the family, like Mumbuna and like peacock, which is called Alunicara. I don't have any peacocks in here right now. They're probably like the least dominant cichlid in in the African cichlids, but they're really interesting. They actually like there's a firemouth in there, which is a South American cichlid, as you guys probably know. And he's just in there because he doesn't really bother anyone. He's just doing his thing. Cichlid tanks are very weird. Like if you add or subtract, the dominance in all the fish will change, and you could have dead fish. And so I'm just too scared to take it out right now. I think when I add my fish from the grow out 20 gallon, then I'll probably take him out and put him somewhere else. But yeah, this one right here is beautiful. That's my Rostratus, probably my favorite fish. He's got bluish, greenish on his cheeks, and he's got like gold on his head. He's not even like full grown. All these fish are about 5 or 6 inches long right now, and some of the fish in here can probably get up to almost a foot, about 8 or 9 inches long. So about the size of the red devil downstairs. They're just doing their thing, having a good time, chilling like a fish. I'm gonna try to go to the fish store today just to look at some. I'm looking to get a catfish for my cichlid, or not for my cichlid, for my 90 gallon downstairs with the bass and the red devil. And I think that'd be really cool. I'm not quite sure what kind. I'm going to talk to the fish owner. Someplace I always go in Richmond called Schools of Fish. It's great fish there. Like, I love it. It's a great place. Alright guys, so we finished doing our daily, or our weekly more like routine on the fish tanks. So we did those water changes. They've been fed. They're really happy. We scraped the glass, got the algae off. Tanks are looking really nice right now. Here, let me turn the light on fully so you guys can see it. Wow, look at them. They look stunning. So 40 African cichlids looking great. They're all chilling in the back, just relaxing right now, afraid of the camera probably. A little camera shy isn't bad though. Everyone's a little bit. Alright, let's check out the grow out. They're looking pretty good. Our dominant guy right there, that's our Zimbabwe rock, Z-Rock. Little Borleyi's doing fine. They're all doing great. Happy they got a new water change. It got rid of most of the algae in there. And then lastly, our flower horn's doing great. The light still does not work, but we're going to take care of that. Alright, that's all for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like and subscribe, and remember, stay fishy, my friends.